Hey guys, I'm back. I normally don't like doing the whole unboxing videos, but I just got these and now I'm kind of excited to open them up, and I might as well um, let anybody else see them. I actually already had two other species, and I'm kind of going to redo their setups, but I'm going to start out with getting this box open and seeing what we've got in here. So these came from Smugbug. It's a site online that I found through a Facebook group. Here's a couple of business cards, and let's see what we've got. And just to let you know ahead of time, these names are probably going to get butchered pretty bad, but that's okay. I'm not worried about if I say the names properly that much. So we've got here Atlantosia floridana, which is the Florida fast isopods, and apparently those reproduce really quickly. So and they're, I guess, small, but maybe not as small as like the dwarf whites or the dwarf purples. So then here we have Persilio pruinosus, powder blue. Is that Persilio? It's P. pruinosus. So that's the standard powder blues that that you see in the hobby a lot. Let's see what else we got here. These are look to be packed pretty well. Everything looks good. I already saw some of them moving. This is a Nasatum, Armadillium Nasatum, the wild type. They're not any particular color morph. And then we have here, and just to put this out there, at this point, I'm not keeping isopods to keep isopods as pet. I'm keeping isopods to put in my Vivaria, but I will keep these in a in their own cultures so that I can add them when I need them. And this is P. laevis, a Porcilio laevis. Again, wild type, no particular morph. They're just all going to be probably like the gray to black that you would find outside. The ones that I find common outside are the Porcilio scavers, and so I've seen that that those have, you know, a high protein diet, and some people worried that they might try to take a nibble on a frog maybe while they were sleeping or something. So it's not a chance I'm willing to take. So I'm gonna stick with ones that will not try to eat frogs. So I just got some new containers. These I got from the dollar store. They are a let's see if you can see that. It's looks like 13 1/8 by 7 5/8 by 4 1/2 inches, or 13 centimeters by 19 by 11. I put the stickers on the bottom so I would remember what size they were later, but I didn't want them on the sides or anything. So I'm going to set that right there. And the substrate that I'm going to use is it's really similar to the same substrate I use in the vivarium, which is mostly like fir bark, and then some peat moss, sphagnum moss, a a type of gravel that's not a smooth gravel, it's rough gravel. Um, and then usually I have some charcoal, crushed charcoal in there also. The thing that I don't typically have in here is I have a little bit of cocoa fiber, and I have no tree fern fiber for the isopods, um, but so this is the substrate that they're going to get. So normally I would not, you know, in my vivariums I would not bake my substrate, but because my peat moss is in a really big bag that I keep outside, after I put the substrate together, I decided that I should probably go ahead and bake it. Just in these isopod cultures, I don't want any stray animals. I want only the isopods that I put in there to be the one that are what's in there. So I'm starting with that. I'll put a couple of pieces of bark in there, and then I'm going to throw some leaf litter in there. And this is also leaf litter that I previously have. I think that I boiled this and then just let it sit to dry. And it's mostly maples and smokes in there, and just what I collect outside. So let's get that, and then let's give this a little misting, because that substrate is pretty dry since I did bake basically all the moisture out of it. And that's why I normally don't do that, because it's kind of hard to rehydrate it. But I already rehydrated a little in the bucket, and that should be good. So so let's see what we've got here. These are the A. nasatum wild type. I already see there's some in there moving around, if that'll focus on there. And there is, it says 16 plus in here. So, and what substrate's in there just looks like mostly sphagnum moss. So I'm just going to put all of that in there, and let them start finding a new place to hang out. The sphagnum moss can just stay. And then I'm going to go ahead and toss a carrot in there, and then I'll probably, before I put any of the food that I use, I'll probably give them a couple of days to kind of settle in there. They got the carrot and I've got the leaves. I won't, you know, sometimes I put some fish flakes, and things like that. Sometimes some fresh vegetables, but we're gonna just leave them with what they've got here, and then like I said, let them get kind of settled in first. Okay, and I've got the species written on the container, and let's move on to the next one. So we've got container number 2. We've got some substrate. A couple of pieces of bark. Some leaves. Some moisture. And let's let loose some powder blues. It says we've got, looks like 15 plus powder blues in here. Let's see if we, oh yeah, they're moving around and they're really fast. They're jumping out. So let's get these guys in here. And spread that around. Let them find a new place to hang out. There's a carrot to munch on. And I'll just put this with this. I didn't write the species name on that one yet. So and the thing with these containers, I did not yet put any ventilation holes in these. These lids are not even close to being airtight. And then I'm usually in these at least once a week, if not more. So for now, I'm going to see how they do without extra holes when I double check on some of the care requirements. I will, if one of them likes a little drier, then I might switch that. But get some substrate in this one, and take these clumps out. Get some bark in there. And some leaves. I also baked all this bark just to make sure I didn't want any hitchhikers. And like I said, I don't usually mind hitchhikers as much in my vivariums because it's just kind of like the more life that's in there, the merrier. That looks like one of my powder blues that tried to harry-carry on me. I definitely do not want him going into someone else's culture. There he goes. He got in there. So, a little water. A carrot. And let's see what we've got here. These are the Florida Fast. So it says 15 plus. I'm definitely going to open these over the container because the name to me implies that they're going to be pretty quick. Just want to see if I can see any in there running around. Oh yeah, they're in there. There's definitely in there. Oh, almost missed one. Those guys have a little, kind of a longer, more slender body than most of the isopods I've seen. So I thought they were pretty cool, and because they were small and that they reproduce fast. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to just put this container with these guys since I don't have that box marked yet. And last but not least, let's just go ahead and put the rest of this in there. So I might have to get a little more substrate on that one later. Yeah, put some extra leaves in there. Some bark. A little bit of carrot and some water. So now these are the P. laevius. So I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I'm going to open those over the box also, because I don't know how fast they are. Well, yeah, they're definitely alive in there. Those are some pretty big guys. Let's let them out. And they definitely look like they're doing good. It's hard to believe that there's only 15 in there. There's got to be more than 15 there. Let's let them get going. Same thing with the lid here, and I'll write down on the box later. So then I've got 2 more boxes here for my cultures that I already have in there. They're just in a different container. So I want to just kind of make them into the same type of container. Let's see if I can make sure I get all these guys in there. But I want the leaves and the bark on the top, kind of. Oh, and these were the dwarf white isopods. So let me just kind of take a look and make sure I don't see any in there. And I probably won't clean this bin up yet for a day or two. Maybe I'll put I'll get some cucumber or something tomorrow and throw in there and see if any are left. I'll kind of lure them onto the cucumber. But again, these are the dwarf whites. Dwarf whites and the dwarf purple or Costa Rican purple are the only species that I currently had. Like I said, the thought for getting some bigger ones was so that I could see if I'm looking for any of them moving around in here. These guys are a little harder to spot when I pull out of this. And this culture is not real old, but it has already been reproducing, so it's usually not too hard. There's one there. See if you can see that guy there. Right there he is. But so I thought it would be kind of nice to have some isopods, and it feels like there's probably enough moisture in this one right now. It would be nice to have some isopods that do not get eaten as adults by the frogs. That way, you know, if you have some frogs and then you have some isopods, if the frogs eat all the isopods, then you got to put more in. But if you have adults that they can't really eat because they're too large, then you'll always have isopods in there. So now this is the Costa Rican purple, or the dwarf purple, and same thing. It's just in a different container that I wanted to keep. There's some on this piece of bark that I wanted to just kind of match up and keep my containers all the same. So that's the only real reason for switching these guys. And I'll probably have to do the same thing. I'll not clean this container out just yet, and you know, make sure that we got them all. I don't want to leave any in there. another piece of wood and a carrot in there. There's the carrot. There's already some bark, but we'll get a little more bark in there. And I'm pretty sure those Costa Rican purples like it pretty humid or moist in their space. I already see one little tiny baby left in here. He's so small that I don't even think I can get him out, so I'll just like I said, I'll pick up a piece of cucumber or something tomorrow so that I can maybe let it sit in there for a couple hours and lure anything that's in there onto it and then switch them over. But now that's all I've got for this video. So thank you, Smug Bug. This was a really good shipment, and I'll see you guys next time.